All right, the red light's on. We're running. I did it right, Terry. Thank you. Thanks for not giving up on me. Well, welcome to Jonesboro Rotary, everybody, on this beautiful sunny afternoon. Right? Oh, the light. Oh, sorry. Morris was. I thought he was blessing it. He said, "Move out of the way." Move out of the way. I saw the light. So, but anyways, welcome. We're glad that you're here. We've got a great crowd today on a kind of a dreary afternoon, but I think we've got an outstanding program here that we'll introduce in a second. But first, let's start off with an invocation by David Spivey.
All right, bowing, please. Heavenly Father, thank you for the rain. Thank you for all of our blessings, and we ask that you keep us mindful that our purpose for serving as Rotarians is to help the world and our community to be a better place. And we ask that you bless this food through your service. Amen.
Amen. Thanks, David. Sergeant at Arms Mike.
Thank you, Bill. Greetings, fellow Jonesboro Rotary. Glad to have you with us today. I'd like to welcome our guest, Mickey Foster with First Health, for delivering our program today. Thank you for being with us. I'd like to thank Miss Bullard for bringing this delicious cake. Wow. Today. Thank you very much. Neil had an announcement.
Okay, everybody should have received an email regarding the Rise Against Hunger event, which is going to be on Saturday, the 14th of March. So if you haven't signed up yet, please go to that website and sign up. As of this morning, we only have 8 volunteers on that website. And that's us, Sanford, Siler City, Pittsboro, plus I sent emails to all of the people who volunteered last year that left an email in the sign-in sheet. And I sent to a couple of very large lists out in Carolina Trace, and we're getting some of those people who have the time to volunteer to come out. So if you need a reminder for the website to sign in, or if you have a contact at your church, at Boy Scouts, Girl Scouts, and you'd like to give them, I've got some copies here that you can pick up on your way out today. That's
Neil,
right.
do you have an actual physical sheet that we could sign here today or anything? I'll do it electronically.
Well, right now it's better if we do it electronically.
Okay. I'll be there at 9 o'clock.
Well, I figured.
Yeah.
And your brother too, I hope.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I'll drag him in too.
Thank you, Neil. Dave, do you have another announcement?
Yeah, just a reminder to the club that our district conference is the weekend of April 24th at Myrtle Beach, and you can go online now and register. If you haven't ever been, it's a lot of fun, and plus being at Myrtle Beach, you know it's going to be a lot of fun. So if you haven't ever been, or if you're planning on going, try to go ahead and get registered as soon as you can.
Thank you, Dave. Ms. Bullard?
It's Yvonne. Miss Brooke. Everybody knows me by Yvonne. I don't even know my last name.
This cost Cake Boss.
Cake Boss. Thanks, Larry. Yes, I'm the ambassador at the Temple Theater, and this is to let everyone know that today begins the second week of Jason Petty in town. And Jason Petty has got this new program now called Every Song Tells a Story. And he does a variety, not only the Southwestern music, but he does a variety of music, and he tells the story behind each song, which is entertaining and it's also historical. So if anyone's interested in going, today starts the matinee this weekend, and then next week is the last. So it's a chance to see him, and this is another world premiere for Jason. Okay?
It's great, too.
Next one, but I just want to let all of you know that since I don't have a husband now, that all of you are like a husband to me, friends, And I just thank you and happy Valentine's Day.
Thank you very much. Any other announcements before the close?
Yeah, I've got one. I've been wanting to say this for a while. I'm going to go up front here and say it. Debbie Scott has brought up to my attention that seeing the position she's in now, she's traveled around to some different clubs. And with our weekly raffle that we do, the 50-50 Polio Plus one, if you wear your pin, you know the thing that says wear it with pride daily, if I see that on you or you have one on your badge or something like that, I'm going to give you an extra ticket, okay? So that's incentive to wear it, because somebody might see that and say, hey, are you a Rotarian? And you say, yeah. And then you say, bring you to a meeting. Maybe you'd like to join or something like that. So incentive to wear your pin. One more extra ticket, it might be the winning one. So that's my announcement. Thank you for bringing that to my attention. We used to do it. We faded away from it. We're bringing it back by popular demand. Thank you.
Any other announcements? All right, how about brags? Any quick brags? John?
Actually got two brags. So a couple weeks ago I gave the Life After 50 program, and really none of you knew what was going on. Then you figured out, oh my gosh, she's talking about prostate cancer. So an update from that. So the first time I found out that I had prostate cancer, my PSA, prostate specific antigen, was 4.2. Anything greater than 4.0 is considered that, hey, you may have active cancer. So had the HIFU procedure done, and that was in the program and all that. 3 weeks after my procedure, I got my PSA done again. This is after the surgery. And what I didn't tell you a couple weeks ago was my PSA was 2.5. And, well, I was disappointed in that because, yeah, some of you get this, because I was kind of crestfallen thinking, oh, I was kind of hoping it would be 0 or 1. Well, this is what I found out, Larry. Larry's bailing me out here. So last week, which was a week ago, last Thursday, I got my PSA done the previous Wednesday. And my doctor called me and said, hey, John, we got your PSA in, and it's 0.8. So it worked. And there was a heavy sigh. I remember I was at work on the phone. And I remember on the phone I did this. I was like, oh, a physical sigh of wow. So that was kind of nice. That was the first brag. Second brag is that same day, which is last Thursday, I was at the Chamber membership banquet, and I was very fortunate to get a pretty big award,
Man,
which
that was
is
my
the
brag, man.
Was that? So, well, I should have you brag about me rather than brag about myself. But anyways, no, I did. I got the Dedicated Service Award, which is a very high honor. I knew that was a high honor, but for what it's worth, folks, I was with somebody, Meg Moss, the executive at the Chamber, fellow Rotarian, and she said, John, you know, we created this 4 years ago with Hale Seiler. He was the very first recipient of it. So that shows you it's a pretty big deal. And I don't think I did nearly the accomplishments that Mr. Hale Seiler has done for our community. But I'm not as old as him. I got time. He was 91, I think, when he had passed. So
You get 10 more years.
I get What's that, Terry? Oh, and you know what? Thank you. I was actually going to mention that. I just forgot. Terry McMillan did the video for that whole evening, and he did a fantastic job. If you've seen it, the whole video, certainly the whole presentation is about an hour and a half long, but he actually broke down each award into 5 different awards, including the one that I had received. But Terry did a great job at it, and I really appreciate the time that you put into that stuff. So there we go.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Oh, well, I don't want to circumvent the governor
All is
to
good.
be. But anyway, I just want to thank, we've gone over 600. Thank you all very much. Thank you for Mr. Spivey for his contribution back to the pool. And I was going to recognize John, but since he's already blown his horn, I won't say that he's a good guy. But most importantly, thank you all for being Jonesboro Rotarians.
Yeah.
And when I'm here, I'm just a Rotarian because, you know, with the district governor part comes
lots of stuff to do. So I've been so busy. So it's just nice to be here, my home club, just being here. It's just awesome. Instead of on the road to Greensboro. Lately it's about 3 days a week. I'm headed to Greensboro, Winston-Salem, or High Point. It's like, oh Lord, please let me stay home. And also $1 for John. I was going to put that in there. Great person, great boss. So thanks, John, for that. And gosh, Yvonne, I didn't know. See, I'm not married either, so like we could have all these husbands and then not have to put up with anything except for him. So I like that.
You can call them anytime, and most of the time they're available.
Family of Rotary, right? Yeah, I like that.
That brings a new interpretation of family.
It really does.
That's what I was thinking.
Several
Yes. Okay.
All right, baby, you did.
Oh, that was for, okay. Well, as y'all can see, a lot to brag about and a lot going on. Appreciate the impacts that y'all are making in the community. John, congratulations again.
Thank you.
Great honor. And good news also with the return on your test results. So, and Yvonne, we all are excited and thrilled to be your significant others as well. So, thank you for all you do and the cakes, and we didn't get to see a Camelback, but I know you helped out with that meal too.
Well, I'm going in tomorrow to see a surgeon. Evidently, there's some work to be done on my leg. And so they're going to tell me what they're going to do with me. So beware of shopping carts. The shopping cart attacked me 5 weeks ago on the food line. So beware of shopping carts.
Okay. Okay, well, it's now time to introduce our program, and let me pull up, I've got his bio here, so let me go through that. Mickey Foster is the new CEO at First Health of the Carolinas in Pinehurst. He became First Health's third CEO in July 2019. Mickey is a Sanford native and graduated from Lee County Senior High School in 1990. He earned his Bachelor of Science in Community Health from East Carolina University in 1994 and a Master of Health Services Administration degree from Central Michigan University in 2000. Prior to joining First Health in July 2019, Mickey spent 10 years at Cone Health Systems in several administrative positions. His last position was president of the Moses H. Cone Memorial Hospital in Greensboro, North Carolina, and senior vice president for Cone Health from 2014 to 2019. Mickey and his wife Tammy have one daughter who is a freshman at East Carolina University. And we just want to send a big welcome to Mickey for being with us. I had a chance to speak with him a little bit before, and I've worked with his father very closely over the years that I've been in this role, and I know probably many of y'all have. Dr. Jim Foster, who's all over the place, and Mickey commented that he's the busiest retired person he's ever seen. So I know you're excited to be back around your old stomping grounds, and we're thrilled to have you here. So Mickey, welcome, and I'll turn it over to you.
Thank you for having me. It's so nice to come back home. I really grew up on Cool Springs Road. Mom and Dad still in the same house. And my brother David, if you've not met my brother, runs the Civic Center, Jonesboro Civic Center. So the Foster family is well connected to Lee.
And he's a Rotarian.
And he's Rotarian. I've spoken to his group a few weeks ago. So obviously I'm going to speak about First Health and give you an update on the organization. Just a little bit about our organization. We're licensed for 610 inpatient beds. We spread that over 4 hospitals. I'll talk about our 4 hospitals in just a second. We have both inpatient and outpatient rehab, over 20 primary care centers, including some here in Lee. Fitness centers, that's our newest adventure here. We have over 1,600 members now as part of our Sanford Lee County facility here. It's grown far greater than we ever thought it would. We have 3 sleep disorder centers. We actually have our own on-site laundry. If you're down on North Carolina Highway 5 in Pinehurst, we do all the linens and the sheets. We got some special employees that work really hard down there to make sure they turn all that around for us. I'll end today on our hospitality house. How many of you know we have a hospitality house in Pinehurst? Claire's house. I'm going to talk about that. It's kind of an unknown secret, and I'm trying to get that secret out. It's really an on-site hotel for patients and visitors, so we'll talk about that in this video. We have 7 convenient care clinics, 2 here in Lee. We opened our newest in Asheboro. That's our fastest growing clinic. It's the one we just opened in Asheboro, so it's really booming. We have 4 charitable foundations. Philanthropy is a big part of First Health. I'm very pleased with that, and I'll talk about our philanthropy in a little bit. We have our on-site hospice. If you've not been to the hospice in Healing Gardens, if you go down 15501, it's on the left side. It's a beautiful campus that provides some really important services for our patients. We have our own insurance plan, our own critical care transport team, EMS medical transport services, dental care. We do that for children, and we have our own occupational health and wellness program where we actually go into business and industry and provide nurses and physicians. A little bit about us. Obviously, our flagship, my office is at Moore Regional in Pinehurst, so it was a nice drive up today. We also have our Richmond campus down in Rockingham, North Carolina, 110-bed hospital there. We have our critical access hospital in Troy, North Carolina, Montgomery Memorial, if you're ever in that area. And then our newest hospital is Hoke down in Rayford. That is one of our fastest growing hospitals. We're actually going to have to expand Hoke this year due to the growth. Just to give you, they have it's kind of what we call a micro hospitals, 8 inpatient beds, 8 emergency room beds. We're seeing 36,000 emergency room visits now out of those 8 beds. Yeah, so it's incredible. That thing is growing, and we're going to have to expand it. So that's our next venture. Interesting, we serve patients. Patients come to First Health from really 15 counties. This gives you a catchment area. Moore Regional, our flagship in Pinehurst, 51% of our patients come to Moore Regional do not live in Moore County. That shows you how large our catchment area is. All the way up into Chatham and Randolph, all the way down, we get quite a few patients from the Chesterfield and Marlboro, South Carolina area. So we have a really huge catchment area. And obviously, in this past year, we saw a record amount of Lee County patients in our facility. So that's a little bit about how large we are. We have about 5,500 employees, a payroll of about $300 million. So it's a large economic impact in this community region as well. So let's talk about Lee County since I'm back home. 2 community care locations. Our fitness center up here on US 1 with physical therapy and cardiac rehab out of that. Really good programs both. Internal medicine, cardiology. We also have the oncology clinic here across from Central Carolina. We also offer vascular vein, orthopedics, neurosurgery, all of our MOB, medical office building on US 1, pain and neck center, and we're getting ready to open up the full x-ray complement on our US 1 facility here the next few weeks. So that's a little bit what we'll be doing in Lee County. I'd like to share with civic groups what do I want to accomplish as CEO of First Health. And there's 3 things, and I've shared this with our board, I've shared this with our employees, our physicians. First of all, I think culture eats strategy for lunch. You've got to have the right culture. How many of you have been to any kind of business and you knew the employees were not happy to be there? We've all experienced that. Think about that magnified in hospitals and healthcare. Do you want your loved one taking care of an ICU nurse that's having a bad day and not happy to be at work? I don't, nobody else does. A big part of my job is to make sure that First Health is the best place to work in healthcare in the country for our employees. Because guess what happens when you have happy employees in healthcare? Better quality, better patient satisfaction. I'm going to show you the trends and the correlates First Health story. 0 harm. So we mentioned my dad, Jim. His dad, my grandfather, died of a preventable medication error in a rural North Carolina hospital. That is the reason I got into healthcare. I didn't want to be a physician, but I thought I could get into healthcare, I could get into healthcare leadership and make a difference because that was a preventable error. He should have been with us a number of more years. So my grandfather is the whole reason I chose healthcare. The second thing, we create the right culture. Second thing, 0 harm. Patient falls, healthcare acquired infections, medication errors should be never events in hospitals. And we've got to create a culture where it's 0. So we're on our journey to get to 0 harm events for our patients across our entire network. And I'm very committed to that. And it goes back to my calling and my grandfather passing. And then our Comprehensive Cancer Center. We'll talk about this. I'll give you a picture there, but we're going to build a new Comprehensive Cancer Center. We'll break ground this year, $60 million facility. And I'll show you, give you a sneak peek of what that's going to look like. So remember, it starts with employees. Happy employees equate to happy patients. This is an important slide. We use a group called Breast King & Associates. I've worked with them for 25 years. They measure employee, patient, and physician satisfaction surveys for thousands of hospitals. There are 3 million healthcare employees in this database. So when I'm benchmarking First Health, I'm benchmarking us with 3 million healthcare employees all across the country. So I want you to look, this is our employee engagement. This is how happy the employees are at First Health. 5,000 of our employees filled out the survey, so it's staying accurate. In 2019, First Health's at the top chart. We had our highest employee satisfaction results in the history of our organization. 89th percentile, top 11% in the country. I want us to be at the 99th. And We're not going to stop until we have the happiest, best place to work in healthcare in the country. Look at what the national trend of the other 3 million healthcare employees across the nation is. What is that trend line doing? It's a smart group here.
It's going down.
It's going down, and we're going up. So we're bucking the trend. It starts with culture. And let me say, there's a business case for employee morale too. If you've not heard, there's a nursing shortage. And North Carolina is going to be one of the hardest hit states. And if you look, there's going to be a 13,000 nurse shortage in 25 in just 5 years. If we don't create the right culture to attract and retain great nurses and great clinicians, we're in trouble. Everybody's in trouble. There's a nursing shortage. If you have children or grandchildren, they're thinking about a career, go into nursing because you will guaranteed to have a job when you get out. So as our employee engagement results hit all-time highs, I thought it was interesting that our patient satisfaction hit all-time highs. I think it's a direct correlate. How many of you have heard of Hospital Compare? Anybody, that's your homework assignment tonight, you can go to Google and hit Hospital Compare. You can pull up every hospital in the country. You can see their patient satisfaction ratings, their quality rankings. But this is our patient satisfaction rating. This is what our board watches continuously. So what are you seeing? HCAHPS. This is patients that stay and inpatient stay in a hospital. And every hospital in the nation is required to do HCAHPS. The highest score a hospital can achieve is a 9 or 10 rating on the HCAHPS scale. Right? I want you to see, this is fiscal year 18 and fiscal year 19. First Health, what does that mean? At 84.1. 84.1 of our patients that came to any of our First Health hospitals give us the highest rating to 9 or 10. You can also compare to every hospital in the state of North Carolina, which we do. The state average is only 72%. National average is 73%. We have the highest patient satisfaction of any health system that I've worked at in my career. I've worked in 5 in the state of North Carolina. 84.1 puts us in the top 4% in the country for the patient experience. All right? I can guarantee you top 4% in the country at First Health facilities based on our patient satisfaction. Same thing, same question, it's just a different question on HCAHPS. We score 86.8% of our patients would always recommend the hospital, compared to state average of 70 and the national average of 72. Top 4% in the country again. Create the best place to work in healthcare, get your employee engagement up, your patient satisfaction will soon follow. Second thing, a lot of rewards. I think quality comes next. You get your happy employees, they stay, retain, patient satisfaction. These are all our national rankings, more regional or flagship, 8th hospital in the state, and multiple rankings. What I really like about the next slide are patients, where patients actually get to vote in Business North Carolina Magazine. They voted more regional, the 6th best in the state. And then I'm a big believer in Becker's. Becker's is a national healthcare firm that takes your quality, your publicly reported data, funnels it, and gives you an objective view of how well you do. And more regional is named one of the top 100 community hospitals in the entire country for our quality data. So a lot of improvement with quality. One of the things, how many of you have been to Southern Pines over the last few years downtown? There is a youth movement in the Southern Pines market, particularly because of the military there. But what are the youth like? What are our kids and grandkids? How do I talk to my daughter at college? Technology. It's all this. Yeah, she don't want to take the phone, it's text. We saw a need, and the really community demanded, we wanted to have an online app, all right? And this is not for everybody, but if you go to the website, First Health on the Go, you can download a free app. Let me tell you how this works. One of our board members was out of town a few weeks ago. He had already downloaded the app. He was having an earache, didn't know what to do, didn't know anybody in that town. He could see a provider online with the app. $40 payment, pay $40 up front, but he was able to see a physician online, get the problem diagnosed. It's not for every single cause. They were able to call in a prescription at the pharmacy, and he was able to go to the pharmacy without ever having to leave his car. So First Health on the Go is kind of our newest online. We already have 2,000 patients and employees already using this. So it's growing, but it's really to meet that younger generation need for the online technology piece. I talked about our cancer center. One of my first projects, our board of trustees approved a new cancer center in June, and I started in July. So we met with the Village of Pinehurst. If you're not familiar with the Village of Pinehurst, they're very particular on what you build in Pinehurst. So we got approval from the city This will be the new cancer center. If you've ever been to Moore Regional and been to our Heart Hospital, right across the street is an open parcel of land. And we will build a mirror image of freestanding comprehensive cancer center. So we'll have a healing garden, medical oncology, radiation oncology. Today, they're separate on our campus. We want a one-stop shop for cancer care. There'll be meditation space, there'll be a food court. This will be a $60 million project. I talked about philanthropy at First Health. We have a great foundation board that helps us raise money. They've committed $30 million to raise. They'll raise half of the capital to fund the new cancer center. This will open in 2022, so a 2-year project. Last but not least, raise your hands again if you are familiar with our hospitality house. Okay, it's called Claire's House. Claire McLean. If you ever heard of McLean Trucking, one of the largest trucking organizations in the Southeast, Ms. McLean, when she passed away, gave a donation to build a hospitality house at First Health. And it's designed for patients and visitors that need an overnight stay. Let me give you a we have 12 hotel rooms, its own garden, and this is the story about Claire's house. We'll kind of end with that.
The hardest time in our life was when he got the message that he had cancer. And at the same moment, the most amazing thing that ever could have happened to us in our life was the Claire McLean House.
Clara's House in general is for any patient and family member receiving care at First Health. Typically, our population lives more than 30 miles away.
When I was in treatment at First Health here in Pinehurst, there was no way possible I could have drove back and forth to Fayetteville. If it hadn't been for Claire McLean House, I don't even think I could have made it through my treatments. They gave us a place to stay. They didn't even ask us for anything because, you know, to be honest, at the time, I was done financial to be able to give any money here, but they was not going to turn me away.
You know, they say it's a place to stay, they have a kitchen, it's equipped, you can do this, you can do that, we have a prayer room, we have a garden, we have this. Much, much more than that. When you walk up to the doors and you open them, you feel the warmth at the front desk. It starts at the front desk with a nice hello. You get the sense that they already know what you're going through. The staff, I wouldn't even call them staff, I would call them family now. They provide what you need before you even understand what you need.
My own personal experience has influenced my role as a staff person at Claire's House. My own father was diagnosed with pancreatic cancer, and I'm an only child, so my parents came here. And during my dad's treatment, they stayed in the apartment at Claire's House. And so I went from describing Claire's House and promoting Claire's House to really needing Claire's House. And that was a very different perspective. So we serve all types of patients, but we offer a tremendous amount of programs and resources for oncology patients.
There's just so many opportunities, and not only can the patient come here, but caregivers really need that too. And our program for cancer patients is also for caregivers.
Claire's House means, to me, the embodiment of a community that cares about each other. And that's hard to find, and it's a real blessing.
Well, all you have to do if you want to know about a healing experience at Claire's is walk into the gardens. I think that's, it's phenomenal.
The healing garden, I received so much from the little statue and the little girl that has her hands straight up, looking up at God. That was me. I was reaching up, saying, when I walked in here, help me, Lord. And before I left, I was saying, thank you, Lord. I received so much from the Claire McLean House.
You can feel God's presence there. The Claire McLean House, it gave me a chance to fight to live. This was my home away from home.
I gotta tell you, cancer changed my husband, but the Claire McLean House changed me.
I'll end with two stories, literally.
The hardest time in our life.
Lifelong family member, not family member, a friend of mine from Lee County. His dad had to have cardiac surgery this summer, and I had just gotten to First Health. They're in their 80s, so after cardiac surgery, to get his strength back, he had to be admitted inpatient rehab for 2 weeks. Spouse was 83 years old. She could not drive from Sanford back to Pinehurst for over 2 weeks. She stayed at the Claire McLean House. In philanthropy, if you can't afford to stay, it's only a $25 a night fee. We cover it. Philanthropy covers the entire cost of the stay there. Second thing, I was over there one day and met a young lady, lived down in Richmond County in Rockingham. Her infant was in our NICU, neonatal intensive care unit. She had no car, no transportation service, but she was able to stay at Clara's house and see her baby every single day in the NICU. And I think that's what First Health's about, creating those kind of experiences. So thank you for having me. And there's a question or two. I think we got maybe a minute or two to ask. Thank you for having me. It's good to come back home.
Got a few minutes for questions if you have questions for me.
More of a statement. I use my chart.
Yeah.
A lot.
Right.
So
Yeah.
that's something you didn't hit on, but it's an online portal that keeps up with your medication, and you can book
Physician appointments.
everything. I use it all the time, so it really helps keep everything straight and refills and everything.
We had Epic when I was at Cone, and so it was a transition to First Health. I could still pull all my information from Greensboro, all my physician appointments, lab results, share that with my primary care doc, the new one that I've got here. You know, it's a really good app.
Bill, I'll just give a huge kudo to Moore County. A year ago, thought I was having a heart attack. Ambulance takes me to Central Carolina because that was the closest. They couldn't figure out in 24 hours what was going on with me. It was crazy, and I was still down in the emergency room. I finally checked myself out, went to Moore County, and I've only, at that point, been here a year. I've only been here 2 years. And they immediately found out I had pancreatitis something, I forget what it is, not cancer, but, and basically I'm not supposed to eat. I wasn't supposed to eat anything or drink anything, and so they figured it out, and in 3 days. But I was in intense pain, and I was very, very thankful for Moore County and my experience, and I filled out a survey and all 10s. And
Thank you.
Great job, and thank you.
It's really the staff. It's just the staff. My job is to support the staff. That's what I'm doing. Thank you for having me. I'll stick around if there's a one-on-one question you want to ask after.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Vicki, thank you so much for being here with us today. And it looks like you're making some outstanding progress towards that culture change and already starting to see results there. So we feel fortunate to have such high quality healthcare options here locally. So welcome back home, and hopefully you're here for a long time, and come and join us sometime if you like to. I know you're down in Pinehurst, but anytime you're in the area, please
The
stop
state
by.
tips will bring me back.
I know.
That's pretty good.
Yeah, so, yeah. Okay, all right. Well, I think, Jim, we're gonna do pots of gold. Or we're gonna do 50-50 raffle first.
Yeah, today we raised $72, 36 to the winner and 36 to the prevention of the Polio Plus campaign. We're gonna have Nikki.
Oh my gosh, no, watch me pull them on tape.
You can do it. You can do it. Okay, here we go. It's a white ticket.
Good.
Last four are 4512. 4512.
Morris.
Hey, Morris. How about that?
Okay. That's good.
We can do that.
Could you come over here and draw? This is our pots of gold raffle.
Stick your hand in there and find you one, please, kind of, sir. Thank you very much.
One more ticket for you, is that right?
No, who sold the ticket? This is for Andrea Frederick.
I think one of the employees I work with.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay, it's from Lemon Springs.
So,
Well, you know, I was feeble today, I didn't bring the checkbook, so I will bring it next time.
Okay, I'm pretty sure that's.
Okay.
Okay. All right. Well, past President Morris, since were our raffle winner, if you could lead us in our four-way test and pledge.
What a great sign. That's the first time I've seen the new sign, but I'm impressed. Four-way test of the things we think, say, and do. Is it the truth? Is it fair to all concerned? Will it build goodwill and better friendships? Will it be beneficial to all concerned? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Remember, y'all, next week we are at CUOC.
Yep, 8:30 in the morning.
8:30 CUOC. Join us for some bag packing.
I'll come by and get that.
Yeah.